now I would like to introduce Tracy Elner, who has written a book called Blue Eye.
My name is Tracy Elner. I'm the author of Blue Eye. I'm sitting over there on the stand in the far corner. Self-published earlier this year with complete novel. And before I tell you about this, I'd just like to say a few words of thanks to Helen and Sarah for organising this event tonight, and also for nominating the other 9 fine authors and myself. Really was a fabulous surprise, and it's a real honour to be here. So thank you very much. Blue Eye, what is it all about and what inspired me to write it? Well, some years ago, my wife and I visited Lake Baikal in Siberia, and were stupefied by the magnificence of the place. It's a true wilderness that's remote from the world we live in. And as some of you may know, Baikal contains 1/5 of the world's fresh water. It's the oldest, deepest lake on the planet. And when viewed from space by Russian cosmonauts, it's called the Blue Eye of the Earth, strange enough, and hence the name of the book, and I was immediately inspired to pen out the synopsis. And here we are. Essentially, Blue Eye romps through a corporate fraud in London and an energy conspiracy around Baikal. It cavorts with fear, humour, mysticism, love, the tongue-in-cheek questioning of consensus science, as well as that of globalisation. And I'm indebted to a number of very good close friends and family who, having proofread numerous drafts, turned around and said to me, "It's a timely thriller come parable." Sounds good. They also added with some trepidation and a little bit stunned, they'd known me for some time. They're asking me if the events in Blue Eye actually happened, and if I know someone called Scott Carty, its hero, or if possibly Scott Carty is myself. Well, they always say that a good book is written from experience, and my experience has been many, as probably many of you have had very vast experiences in the world. I've always been fascinated by natural philosophy, the way nature works, the science behind that. I've also had passions, eclectic passions, such as conjuring, dream analysis, alchemy, and the Taoist healing arts, to name but a few. Professionally, and at separate times, I've been a material scientist, commodities derivatives trader, and pioneer in the fledgling emissions markets. And all these things, all these experiences have me travelling around the world to far-flung and exotic places. Nowadays, I mainly focus on environmental technologies such as solar, wind and hydrogen, mainly in the Middle East, where they don't really quite yet understand climate change yet. But over the years, there's always been one burning question I've had. It's really bugged me, and it may bug you as well. Why is it in this modern age, we're still mainly dependent on technologies that haven't really changed since the Victorian era? Odd, isn't it? Since that time, we've seen some fantastic advances in science, technology and life, and we all know what they are. But here in the 21st century, by stark contrast, we're still in a paradigm where we're reliant on fossil fuels and combustion engines for the bulk of our power and transport. And Scott Carty is asking that same question, but he's blinded by his own rational abilities and the belief that emissions derivatives and the free market will stop climate change. The underlying reality, though, is less noble. It's a thriller. And Carty's about to be set up as a fall guy by his unscrupulous boss, Alpha Dalbo, in a massive corporate fraud. But then his dreams, his mystical dreams, intervene as an intervention. And along with the advice of a wiser older man and the appearance of a beautiful younger woman, there has to be one, a thriller, he learns the facts. But is it too late? He's arrived at Baikal, he's been handing a poison chalice, the knowledge of a covert energy technology which could change the economic paradigm we live in forever. In the words of a good friend of mine who's no longer here, he's become a reluctant eco-bond. If he can get home, there's still the problem of the embezzled millions. And worse still, the intelligence agencies seem to know his destiny better than he does. And coming back to my friend's question, if the events in Blue Eye happen to someone I know, well, I think I'll just let you read the book and find out for yourselves. And then perhaps read Green Eye, the next in the trilogy. Come over and see me over there. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Have a great week.